time on the great estate of Collinwood, as Maggie fights for Quentin's love, not even knowing who the enemy is. For Angelique, Quentin's first wife, has returned from the dead and assumed the identity of the sister she murdered. And this night there has been the annual costume ball at the mansion, but Quentin has not been at the party. He ran from the house when Maggie appeared, wearing the same dress Angelique wore before she died. And now, later, the party is over.
Waiting up for Quentin? Oh, I wouldn't if I were you. Well, frankly, the party would have been a disaster even if the host had been here. Not like last year. Last year there was joy in the house. And laughter in the rooms. Genuine laughter, not the forced, uncomfortable sounds we heard tonight. I would take that dress off if I were you. It doesn't suit you. But you know that now, don't you? You must have learned a lesson. No one can take Angelique's place. You know that. No one.
Maggie? I'm changing. Maggie, I really am so terribly sorry. You know, I had no idea when I showed you that dress that was the one Angelique wore last year to the party. Oh, what an awful mistake. You know, I blame myself completely.
You had no way of knowing.
Well, I'm so glad you understand. When Hoffman brought that trunk down, it was filled with all those old clothes. I simply chose mine.
Julia Hoffman did know what Angelique wore last year.
That's right, she did, didn't she?
Not the first time she's hurt me.
Maggie, she wasn't in the room when I showed you the dress, remember?
Yes. That's true.
You can't blame her. I don't think she could have put that dress in there deliberately. If Julia Hoffman had tried to engineer some little plot, she wouldn't have left so much to chance. Oh, I know you want to blame somebody. I would too. But I really believe that it was just one of those unfortunate accidents.
Yes.
See, I intend to tell Quentin about the whole thing as soon as I see him.
Alexis, no.
But I want to. I can't have him mad at you over something that I did. He's much too difficult a person anyway. I didn't mean to sound disloyal. Now listen, I'm fond of Quentin. Genuinely fond. You really didn't have any right to run out of the house like that.
Alexis, please.
I'm so sorry for you. Going on with that party, trying to be nice to everyone, pretending that nothing had happened.
It's probably just as well that I did do that. If I'd had time to stop and think, I might not have gone through with it.
Well, I'm sure no one had any idea that there was anything wrong. It was very clever of you to say that Quentin had just suddenly taken ill.
What else could I say?
What? All I mean is, if I had been in your position, I would never have been able to carry it off, that's all.
Roger says I didn't.
Oh, Roger.
He says that the whole evening was a complete fiasco and that she wouldn't have handled it so badly.
Who, Angelique?
Yes. What hold did she have over these people?
I don't know.
You must. You're her sister.
She never had any hold over me. We were too different. She enchanted everyone. I resented it. Besides, there's no reason to talk about Angelique.
Yes, there is. Because wherever Quentin is, that's what he's thinking about. Where could he go dressed in that costume?
He's probably down on the beach staring into the waves.
How do you know that? What? Because I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that's where he is. I found a letter. It was a letter that Quentin wrote to Angelique. And in it, he spoke of staring at the sea for hours and listening to the waves. Why doesn't he come back?
He will.
What am I going to do when he does come back?
You'll know what to do. Because you love him. And because you want to make his life happier and simpler than it is now.
I'm not sure I can do that anymore. I'm just not sure of that at all.
You really are too clever. Oh, how typical that she would try to blame me for the dress. If you hadn't talked to her, she would have gone to Mr. Collins, and then we'd probably have another scene. When he comes back,
She
everything...
will play the martyr again. Hurt, trying not to show it.
I almost feel sorry for her.
Well, don't. If Maggie thinks this night was hell for her, then you can imagine what it was like for me. A guest in my own home. Forced to witness that fiasco of a party.
When you had done it so brilliantly.
Seeing all my friends trying their best to make her at ease.
But next year...
Next year I shall be the hostess again. And it shall be my party again.
Quentin. Your old room. Whoever it is has gone into your old room.
I feel your presence here so strongly it almost frightens me. How different it is from last year. We met here in this room after the party, sharing the last of the champagne, laughing over the idiocies we'd seen, the conversations we'd heard. Tonight I kept looking for you, waiting for you to come down those stairs. Why do I feel this way? That you were here, that you made Maggie wear that dress. You would have done that, I know. I know you so well. Is your spirit still here? And if it is, what else are you going to do? What else? You're the reason I think she's in this house. You. Watching you tonight, it was as if the last 6 months had not happened. For an instant, I had thought that she was not dead.
But you know she is dead.
How well I know. Even if I didn't have the current Mrs. Collins to remind me.
Roger. You know, you've done so many favors for Angelique. You do one for me now. find Quentin. No, I'm serious.
If Angelique had been here, Quentin would not have left. If he had, by some chance, he would have returned by now, begging her forgiveness.
But Maggie needs him so much.
I'm not interested in her needs. Well, perhaps she's learned something, I hope. Because, of course, she can't go on staying here.
She'll never leave.
Quentin doesn't want her here.
Did he tell you that?
He didn't need to. I could tell it in his face whenever he looked at her, comparing her with Angelique. Like a mouse opposed to a sable. Maggie's presence embarrasses him. He wouldn't admit it at first, but I know that he would be relieved if she left.
No, surely he'd grieve.
Only in front of those that had expected him to.
Oh, Roger, you are cruel. Even where Quentin is concerned.
No, I'm just realistic. As you would be if you had known him as long as I have. I saw him grow up. I saw him with Angelique. I know him better than anyone alive. And so, my dear Alexis, I'm not going to ask Quentin to come back. I'm going to wait for him to come back, which is what you should do, if you have any sense.
Why doesn't he come back? He must know how terrible this is for me. Is he so obsessed with Angelique that I don't matter at all?
Still waiting up? Oh, that's bad form, you know. Most husbands don't like their wives sitting up waiting for them.
Good night, Roger.
Especially in a marriage like this.
You don't know anything about my marriage.
Oh, don't forget, I lived through the last one in this house. So I know, by comparison.
You're drunk.
Well, I'm usually a little more perceptive when I am.
You've been against me ever since I came to this house, Roger. Now Quentin doesn't listen to you, and neither will I.
He may not listen, but he thinks as I do. How little you know him. How very little you know him.
Can't do that. Now, don't even think of it.
I want to take the chance.
Well, it is insane. Your first plan is working. Quentin and Maggie have separated. Just keep on with your plan. He will begin to be finished with her.
Roger thinks he already is.
Roger is a fool.
No, he isn't. Not always. I know him better than you do.
It's a mistake.
No, you're wrong. It's the perfect time. There'll never be a situation like this one. Maggie is ready. She has all her reasons. Quentin is disenchanted with her.
I will have nothing to do with it.
You mean after all this time, you think you can walk out on me? You will do as I tell you to, Julia.
Quentin. Who is this? Who is this? Alexis? No! What did that mean? Who would do that? You know very well who. Someone who was at the party. Why did it sound like Alexis? Quentin! Quentin! Who is this? Alexis!
Maggie, what is it? Maggie, are you all right?
Yes,
You're trembling. Maggie, something's wrong. Now tell me what it is.
the telephone.
Quentin called.
No, I thought it was Quentin. And when I answered, it was a woman. She was laughing and laughing.
Maggie, no.
And she called again.
You don't have any idea who it was. Well, who was it, Maggie? Tell me. Darling, you can tell me. I'm your friend.
I know it wasn't you, but
The voice sounded like mine.
yes. I know that sounds ridiculous. It
My
wasn't my imagination.
My sister and I had exactly the same voice.
What?
If we were in another room, one of us was speaking, you could never tell which one it was.
Angelica's dead.
But I've heard her voices from the dead.
I don't believe that.
But the telephone, that's what's so curious. Maggie, I'm going back to your room with you.
No.
But I don't want you to be alone.
I want to be alone when Quentin gets back.
What's the secret, Hoffman?
Secret?
Something has happened in this house. Since you returned from your vacation, something has happened to you.
Nothing has happened, Mr. Collins.
You can lie to others, but not to me, Hoffman.
You're imagining things, Mr. Collins.
No, I'm not. Something has happened in this house to you. I don't like secrets unless I'm included in them. And I will be. I will be.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Collins.
Fear, I think. Fear.
You must excuse me. I have a busy day tomorrow.
Look.
a substitute. Gauche, awkward little girl who no one wants around here, especially Quentin.
No! No!
And now, look at me. You saw the disgust on Quentin's face when he came down the stairs in my dress.
Stop it!
He doesn't love you anymore.
Stop it!
He can't bear the sight of you.
I won't listen!
That's why he left the house. Now he knows the mistake he made.
No!
Without his love, there is nothing for you to live for anymore, is there? The window, Maggie. Go to the window. Look down. It would be so easy, wouldn't it? To end everything quickly, all your suffering. Go on, Maggie. Let go. Let go and fall. There's nothing for you to live for without Quentin's love. Nothing to live for when he has shut you out of his heart. Let go, Maggie. Let go.